Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl, Precious. So guys, today I'm going to be talking about the major secret that got me this healthcare assistant job. I'm here to give you updates on how to get healthcare job. In one of my videos, I talked about how to create your CV, because that's one of the major secrets. Your CV needs to be very attractive. So to make your CV attractive, you need to have experience. I talked about it in one of my videos. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got a band 7 in my Ielts, guys. And trust me, for you to come to the UK as a healthcare assistant, you need to write Ielts. Yes, I said it. You need to write IELTS. You need to prove to these people that you can speak English. That's the major aim of you writing IELTS. It's not like nursing, or when you're coming as a nurse or coming as a doctor, that you need to prove these people like you need to study so hard. You need to get a band 7 at least. Guys, I'll be talking about IELTS General Training UKVI. So there are two types of IELTS. There is academic and there is general UKVI, general training. So for the academic, I think if you are coming here as a healthcare assistant, you can write either the academic or the general training. But guys, I've heard a lot about the academic, and trust me, it's not something you want to even try when you know you're not coming here as a nurse or as a doctor. That test is hard. I'm not going to lie, because at first, when I wanted to write this IELTS exam, I did not know which one I was taking. My cousins just sent me all the materials, and UKVI and UKVI Academy, UKVI General, they are in the same PDF. So when she sent this PDF to me, I didn't even know which one I'm supposed to look at, which one I'm supposed to study. So I was studying everything. It was later, and I told her that, see what I'm saying, I don't understand this. So that's when she now told me that, no, this is not what you should study. I should study the other one. So I started studying the other one. But at first, when I was studying the academic, I was like, academic is not that hard now. I think I would just do it. But until I checked the general training, I started studying the general training. When I started studying it, the difference was just clear that, babe, leave academic for who gets out. It's not for me. There's no way I'm doing academic. There's no way I'm going to write academic, because it's kind of difficult. One of the things I did that helped me in getting this, in passing well for my IELTS exam, is that I studied. Guys, I studied. I didn't take it for granted, because I was even scared that I will fail. This one is British people that is going to interview you. It's not anybody, British. And they are the owner of English language. I don't want to disappoint. And it's very expensive. 80 something K, close, in fact 90,000. So there's no way I'm not going to do it. There's no, studying is going to help you a lot. I'm not joking, guys. I even drafted out my timetable that time, because I was still at my PPA, my place of primary assignment, where I was serving. That was when I started studying for this IELTS. In the morning, I was studying in the morning. I was studying in the afternoon. I will study in the evening. And I make sure that every day, because I shared it into 2. Speaking test was the last thing I studied. I started with writing and listening. At first, I will start with listening. After listening, I will go for writing. So every day I was writing at least 2 essays every day. I was sending it to all my friends, sending to my sister, sending to my sister's husband, sending to my friends. They'll be like, at some point, they'll be like, Precious, I beg, I don't tire. I'm like, no, not tire, I beg. Now next month I write this exam, vet it. I even at some point, my sister's husband added me to one Telegram group. I'm going to be dropping the link here on this video, so you can join the Telegram group and learn 1 or 2 about IELTS. Yeah, and the group too, I don't even know how those people make their money. They are so nice. When you drop your essay, they will vet it for you and score you. So guys, I'm going to break it down. So for IELTS General and IELTS Academic, the same thing. There is speaking, there is listening, there is reading, and there is writing. So speaking first, or is either you write speaking first or you write speaking last, but speaking is taken on a different day, while listening, writing, and reading is taken on another day. I did my speaking first. So for the speaking test, guys, no fear, it's not hard. IELTS is not hard. To me, IELTS is overrated. They're just hyping it. Hey, you fail. People used to fail. That. It's not hard. So when I went for my speaking test, I got there. The people there was so nice. When you don't understand anything, I'll just raise up my hand. The woman will come. I'll ask the woman a question. She'll be like, yes, this is how you do it. So I went for my speaking test and I met this British woman. Yes, guys, now British person go interview you. When I go in, more British people, they are too nice. When I got, first of all, I was nervous. Then when I got there, I sat down. Then she started asking me questions. So speaking test is divided into 3 parts. There's part 1, there's part 2, and part 3. Part 1 is usually personal questions or questions relating to where you are from, your origin, stuff like that. Then part 2, they are going to ask you any question. They might ask you about a party but part 2 is what will determine your part 3. The questions are going to answer in part 3. But to know more, I'm also going to be dropping materials. For this speaking test, I use marker. Marker helped me a lot. And when you are doing this speaking test, you need a friend. That's why that Telegram group was very nice. I would advise you join the Telegram group if you want to write IELTS. The Telegram group helped me a lot, in the sense that there I would just type, like, if you know you are doing your speaking soon or you are looking for a partner to practice the speaking test with, DM me. Then I'll just drop it there. People will start messaging me. So for the part 1, it has to do with intro questions. They might ask you your hometown, work or study, weather, technology, social media. They might just ask you different questions. And also check YouTube. It helped me a lot. I was always researching on YouTube. Speaking tests, I will play it and hear what they are saying. Sometimes even scoring band 7, when I hear what they say, I'm like, what is here that I cannot see? So it's not difficult at all. Just put your mind, focus, usato focus. You will get it. It's not hard. Study. They can ask you, what work do you do? They might ask you, why did you choose that type of work? They might ask you, do you like your job? So they can ask you questions. It's just for you to talk. And please, when you're answering them, they cannot ask you, do you like your job? You say yes. Don't just say yes. Explain more. Explain more on why you like your job. So the first question they asked me was, they asked me about advertisements. Started with advertisements in my head, like, I know even the way she even pronounced the advertisement, it shocked me. Like, I had to ask, like, sorry, can you please repeat it? He said it again. And I'm like, okay, I understand. Guys, he asked me about advertisements. She asked me also, like, when last did I see one? Then I explained. He asked, what's the product? I explained to. Then he also asked, would I like to participate in an advert? I told them no, because I'm an introvert. Introvert. Stop playing. But that introvert, go and check it. Now, sweet vocabulary. As I drop on, forget. They feel them. See, when it comes to speaking, say things that will lead to it requires a lot of vocabulary. This IELTS exam requires vocabulary, how you can make complex sentences. But if you don't know how to make good complex sentences, just make simple sentence and keep it short. Since you are coming here as an healthcare assistant, you just need a band 5. There's no way you will not get a band 5. Even when I was doing my research on people that are getting band 5, all those ones, they don't even speak straight English. They just stammer. I do, you do, stuff like that. So the people most people that are having issues with this IELTS are people from Pakistan, Indians, because of their accents, or people from Dubai. As a Nigerian, you should not be scared. You don't, as long as you know your past tense, your present tense, you are good to go. So for the part 2 of the speaking test, you are allowed to talk for about 1 to 2 minutes. They are going to ask you a question, and it's that part 2 that will determine your part 3. They might ask you, describe a person you would like to study or work with. So when they ask you that question, there are also questions under it, so it will be easier for you to answer, so you know what to say. So they also said, who is that person? Why would you like to study with him or her? What will you study? So now they are asking you, describe a person you would like to study with. So now, who is that person? If you just go straight to say, the person is my friend. Then the second one, why would you like to study with the person? Because the person is intelligent. Number three, what will you study? Mathematics. Before you see, you don't even talk reach 1 minute. And you may likely fail. In fact, you don't fail. I enjoyed my speaking test. At some point, I never see it as test. I see it as I was gisting with her. And guys, you shouldn't be nervous. Don't see the person like one higher authority or president. Just talk to the person like you're talking to your friend. Because they're asking you questions like, gist me, gist me. That's what this question is about. For you to be writing this IELTS exam to come here as a healthcare assistant, you are at least 18 years. So, what you never see for this life, what you dey fear for? Relax. They asked me I should talk about a party that I did not spend much. Then they asked me where I hosted the party, whose party was it, something like that. I can tell them it was my birthday party. I don't really spend much. Then they asked me where I did the party. So I explained more. The location where I did the party was I don't forget places it is what I talk, but I shall know I spoke about it's a new place. So because I'm the first person to host a party there, they did a huge discount for me. I paid 50%. Imagine, before I even did talk, I never even answered the rest question, but before you see 1 minute done here, you understand? So I paid 50%, and as at that time, 50% was about 5,000 naira. I know I said something like that, Sha. Then I continued that because it's my birthday party, I didn't really spend much because because my friends helped paid for the party, and my mom supported with drinks and stuff like that. So I did not really spend much. My uncles and auntie also sent me money. And so just the yeah. First of all, guys, I'm not the type that celebrates my birthday and stuff like that. No, they celebrate birthday. Like, I don't do stuff like that. But as I dey talk, words just dey enter my head. I just kept on talking. This one sponsored me, that one sponsored me, stuff like that. That was how I answered the question. Before you even say 1 minute don't reach. At some point, because I was rushing, I felt like I've talked enough. Let it be that I answer all the questions before this man will cut me short. So I answered all the questions. There was still extra time for me to talk, because even after answering the question, I kept quiet. The woman now looked at me like, are you done? But I felt like, there's still time. But it doesn't matter. I can end it there because I've told you what I want to tell you. I hit the nail on the head. I talked about all the points. I still use small vocabulary like discount and stuff like that. So in my head, I'm like, there's still time now. Let me talk. So I started saying that was one of the best days of my life. I enjoyed the birthday party. I never expected the birthday party to be this interesting, but my friends made it interesting. I'm so grateful. I was so excited. Before you know, she cut me short. Say, your time is up. At the birthday party, she also asked about youth questions that I received there. It was related because I studied this marker stuff, this marker PDF. I was able to answer it. I knew that questions like this would come, but it's not what I studied that I saw, but it helped. Yeah, it helped me a lot because I read a lot about this stuff. I read a lot in the PDF, how people answer their question, because the PDF would show you questions and also answer it for you. It's not for you to cram, it's for you to understand and have a basic knowledge, because they might not ask you that question. Like me now, they did not ask me the question that was there. They asked me another question. But because I've studied this, it was easy for me to answer the question. And that was why I got a band 7 in my speaking. Like, stop playing. I did well. I go praise myself because it's not easy. It's not easy. I know some people used to score 8.5. I scored 7 and I'm happy. It's not easy. So that was it for the speaking test. 2 days or 3 days interval. Then you can go for the other one, which is listening, reading, and writing. The first one is listening. Guys, I'm going to be sharing There's this particular place on YouTube I use for my read. The listening test is over 40. And guys, trust me, it's not difficult. When I was practicing, when I started at first, I scored 8. Sometimes I scored 10. Hey, in my head, they say listening test is the easiest, but why is this one hard for me? When you're ready for this IELTS, you will know. Your body will tell you. And guys, on that fateful day, it was so easy. Listening was the easiest. Because it was too easy, at some point I was distracting my own self. Like, I don't even know whether because it was too slow. At some point, I'll just there, my mind will just flash back to something else. Then later, I'll just like, Precious, you're an example. Come on, right. Again, well, I answered very well. I did my best, and I got about 7.5 in listening. So the listening was very easy. Even when we came out from the hall, everybody was just saying it. Listening is simple. Listening was the simplest. So in my head, I don't even want to say anything, but I know listening was the simplest. And for this exam, you should not ask questions. They will give you instruction. Don't talk to anybody. Just be doing your thing. You understand? But luckily for me, you know, when you're writing this thing, guys, when it comes to exam and stuff like that, I'm very smart. I'll answer the one that I know, but even after answering, I observe my environment a lot. So there's this lady that was sitting at my front. She was writing too, but she, like, you know, when you're writing for this exam, you know, like school exam, that you're closing your work, that you don't want somebody to spy from you, this, that. This one, you can just write freely. So even when after writing, answering my own, I was checking out the lady's work at the front. She was at my front, and her writing was very bold. So I was looking at it, looking at my work. I was looking at her work. People will call it spelling. Me, I'll not call it spelling. It's called cross-checking. And she made it so visible for me to see. So when I saw it, I checked my work. Oh, it's the same thing we wrote. In my head, I don't pass, forget. Bring the next one. Bring the next one. You get? Guys, at initial, I was preparing for this reading test back to back. I feel like I was good. See, I took reading for granted. That's just all I can say. Because when I started reading, I was scoring too well. So I left reading. I focused more on writing, listening, and speaking. Reading is true or false, comprehension passage, but still is hard. It was hard. The questions I was answering, I was using it to revise, practice, was a lot easier than the one I met on my exam day. It was difficult, guys. Even after writing it, I was down. I was sad. I was like, Jesus, I don't feel. And before you will see, 1 hour don't pass. At the end, I did not even finish some parts. First of all, the true or false was easy. Then when it comes to the other section B, I was familiar with it because I did that in one of my past questions. So I answered it sharp. I not waste time. But when you go to the other parts, hey, I dey look book, the book they look me. Like, it was so difficult. They were talking about plants and animals in my head. What concern plant? If they were asking me about environment, you don't even, sometimes you might not necessarily read the comprehension passage completely before you answer it. You might have an idea. And when I told my friends about this video, they'll be like, what is adding read to answer? So guys, I found it so difficult. Before I even see, they said 5 minutes to go. In my head, I wanted to cry. God, I don't even know what I was doing. I just do A, B, C, D, put. I just started writing, and funny enough, some parts of the comprehension, they need you to write it out. Like this one is not A, B, C. Write it out, what you saw in the comprehension. I just wrote another, I don't even know if it's correct or not, but I just wrote something out there. So after writing, this one, when it comes to the listening that I know, this girl's work was visible. I was able to see it. But when it comes to this reading, I'm like, let me still check if we wrote the same thing, or the ones that I know, I guess. Let me see if you wrote something reasonable there. Let me see if I can just pick one or two. I not see. I could not read what this girl was writing. I know that as it was tough for me, it was tough for her too. Like, it's tough. He choke. He really choke. Reading, I got a 6.5. Because guys, I was so scared that maybe I will fail. But when it came out, it was 6.5. I was happy. Then it was time for writing. I don't want to use the way my present state of mind to write to shake everything off. And guys, I cannot really remember because the question, because Immediately you are done, they are taking the questions back. They are not keeping it for you. They are taking it back, because I'm sure they might likely ask the next set questions or similar. You get, so because the questions they ask for the reading, for the writing, we asked those kind of questions, not particularly for word. The question was not word for word, but it was similar to what I have learned. For the writing, they asked about, I cannot remember word for word, but it was about was my opinion on adding different age grade in the same class or separating them. I evaluated it. If I say no, they should separate it, you have to give your reason. And when you are giving reason, you should give about 2 to 3 reasons, because you are expected to write 250 words and they will still give you time. When I evaluated it, I found out that I have more things to talk about. When I say yes, I agree with them, because they were like, to what extent do you agree? That was the question. To what extent do you agree? So if I say both of them should be on separate class, I would also have to talk about it. And then being on separate class, I don't really have much to say. I wrote one more. It's easier for the intelligent one or the elder ones to teach the younger ones, for those that cannot learn easily. But when you are saying all this, you should use good vocabulary. Vocabulary not the enter my head now, but I shall use vocabulary when I was elaborating or explaining it. They also mentioned that there will be less bully in the class. Some people will be like, what's it concern bullying for inside? Like, how the senior one wants to help the junior one? What if the senior ones are the one bullying the junior ones? It not concern you. It not concern anybody. It's my own opinion. They're asking you, to what extent do you agree? I'm telling you why I agree or why I disagree. You understand? This one that was supposed to bully this one, I told you before, is not a knowledge test. They are testing you for your English language. Can you make complete sentence? Because when you come here, trust me, you have to write a lot of letters. If I look for another job, you need to learn how to write letters. You need to learn how to send email and stuff like that. They want to make sure that you can write good sentence. You get? So that's what the test is all about, not your sense like, hey, this one is making sense. It's true. Because of bullying, because of this, so they will know how to treat students and stuff. They're not, they survey you. You get? Your point does not really matter. All they care about is your vocabulary, your English lexical structure and stuff like that. But I'm going to drop the Telegram group. Once you join there, you will see all these things. They keep sending materials back to back. And advantage about Telegram group is that once you join, previous chats you will still see it. It's not like WhatsApp that when the message is gone, it's gone. You get previous chats that they even chatted before you join the group, you will still see it. So there's a lot of materials there for the writing. They ask you, to what extent do you agree? You'll be like, I totally agree with this, because you put it, then you give why you agree with it. When you agree, you support your points, like elaborate more on your point, then you give example. Then your point 2, your second reason, you say, if you use I totally agree, you can still use I totally concur. The reason I totally concur, using concur now, guys, na vocabulary, you don't drop one, you understand? So I was just using sense for them. Then I wrote that one. Then I wrote my reason. I explained why this is my reason. Elaborate more your reason, and then give example. Then when you are done, then the ending part is conclusion. In conclusion, comma, this is this thing because I choose. Indirectly, you are rephrasing the question again. After rephrasing it in the first paragraph, you rephrase it again in the last paragraph. So in total, you wrote 4 paragraphs. The first one is paraphrasing the question, your own understanding. The second one is your first point, why you agree. The second one is your second point, why you agree. And the third one is conclusion. So I concluded, I rephrased the question. Before you even do all those ones, you don't answer reach 300 words. And you know, when you're giving an example, you end up explaining more. So your point might not really talk more. So that was what really helped me in my writing. Actually, I got a band 7 in my writing. So when I see that I've studied everything a whole day, I will try and practice speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So because that's what you are doing there. Immediately you are done with listening, they are giving you reading. Immediately you are doing reading, they are giving you writing. Don't think that there's no that it's long or this. Before you know, you don't know, time up, because guy, you need to think and write and stuff like that. So I passed. That day I was so excited. My mom did pepper soup for me. Like, You did well. You did well. Pepper soup with Hollandia yogurt. Stop playing. Stop. I hope you find this video informative. I hope this video help you to understand IELTS. Just prepare, pray, and write your IELTS exam. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video.